welcome back to On the Way Up. I'm Lindsay Udell, and today I'm interviewing Kelsey Brady. So, Kelsey, why don't you just give us a little bit of a background, where you grew up, what you study?
I'm from Malcolm, Nebraska. It's a town of 400 people, about 400. Right now I study psychology and Spanish. I'm a double major in that. And yeah.
And then how would you describe your upbringing and how it's influenced your leadership style?
So from being from a small school, I was able to do a lot of different things. So I was in theater, but I was also playing basketball and doing cheer and then also FBLA and stuff like that. So I was able to get kind of a diverse background and different pathways, and I kind of just got to meet a lot of different people and talk with them about their backgrounds and stuff like that. And then I had a lot of different leadership roles in high school as well, which kind of got me ready for this. I was section leader in choir, and then captain of the cheer team and stuff like that in high school. So I was able to bring those roles and then into college.
You mentioned that you were a part of a few things in high school, such as cheer and dance and choir. What organizations are you a part of on campus as well?
Yeah, so since Doane is somewhat of a smaller school, I was able to kind of bring those same things into college. So I'm a member of Doane Choir here, and then I'm a member of cheer and then dance. And then I also do a Gamma Phi Iota, obviously, and then Salt Rep, and then a few honor societies, and I think that's it.
Awesome. And then within those roles, I know you're a captain of the dance team, correct?
Cheer team.
Cheer team, dance team. I'll make sure to get that one right. What ways do you see your leadership style coming into play when you are having to lead the different girls on the cheer team?
Yeah, so I actually got to be the captain since my sophomore year of cheer team, and that's been a really great thing for me to learn how to change my leadership style within the different girls who do come in. What was the question?
Kind of just in what ways are they connected, and how do you?
Oh, how do I use it? Okay, sorry. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so since I was able to be the captain since my sophomore year, I was able to kind of learn how to grow and change along with the different people that would come in and stuff. And my biggest thing that I wanted was peace and harmony with the team and stuff like that. So I think that we were able to grow together with our communication, because that's one of my biggest things. Being a leader is just direct communication among team members, captains, and coaches and everything like that. So I think that just as a team, we overall value just each other's time and respect, and just direct communication and honesty in order to have that harmonious environment.
Yeah. And then with that and really investing all of your time into cheer and dance, what would you say is the most rewarding aspect of being a part of this all?
The most rewarding aspect of being part of it all is probably just getting to compete with my friends and seeing the progress, and especially when we do stuff for Doane that has never been done before. Last year we got the highest scores in cheer and dance, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, that's been pretty cool.
And then how have you seen yourself, because you're a senior this year, so how have you seen yourself develop from your freshman year until now in your leadership position and your role on the team?
Yeah, so freshman year, I really looked up to a lot of the seniors on the team, and I just kind of each year kind of replicated what they did that I really liked. And then with my leadership style, I'm always trying to change and grow with what people tell me they like, what they don't like, whatnot. So I think just from freshman to senior year, I've just become a lot more confident, a lot more willing to listen to others and take that feedback without it affecting my self-esteem overall and stuff like that. So yeah, I think I've just learned from a lot of the really good leaders that I've seen throughout my years here, and I've been able to kind of grow as a person overall.
Yeah, and I know you're definitely making that impact on the younger girls on the team, and they're going to be saying the same thing about you.
Thank you.
So you mentioned a few of the leadership styles that you really take on and what you express towards your team. What would you say is the most important value to you from those different qualities?
Yeah, so my biggest thing as a leader is whoever is selected to be the leader, or just in any sense, that should be the person that is willing to sacrifice the most time for the team. So kind of to take one for the team. So just any like injustices or anything like that on the team, or I'm just a very big protector of the people that I'm, I guess, leading. So I just want to make sure that like people are being spoken to in the correct ways, people are being respected, people's times are being respected and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, is like being a leader, making sure I'm still being a good person, making sure everyone on my team is still being a good person, because we are in sports, but after this we still want to go out and be good members of society. So
yeah. And that really leads into like the next question, is like, how do you see being inclusive through like a vision in your leadership? And you were touching on it a little bit, so if you want to like elaborate on that a little bit more.
Yeah, and then yeah, the other thing is, as a leader, like listening to others and kind of allocating different leadership positions to others, because I'm a human, I'm not perfect at everything, so just because I am the captain doesn't mean that other members of my team wouldn't be just as good at different responsibilities. So if I need help with something, or if I'm not as knowledgeable on something, I'm going to be able to go to one of my teammates, and then they know that if they know something better than me, they can come to me and stuff like that. So it's like a two-way communication.
Yeah. And then do you think that you were like influenced by like somebody specifically, or like people as a whole, to like get you to this point?
Honestly, yeah, it's hard to find one person. I can think of a lot of different people, and then just my life in general, just everything that I've learned and gone through. Definitely the captains before me. I mentioned Hannah Offer, I think, earlier. She was a really good leader. And then like my coach, and then also just my parents, because my mom always taught me to be the bigger person, and that's something I kind of take on with my captain role. If something is happening to where I'm going to have to be the bigger person, like I'm just going to have to take one for the team, take my step back, let others do their thing, that's what I'm going to do. So I think that's the biggest thing, is just always kind of being able to sacrifice myself just to help others. So yeah.
So a few of the values that like we like to look at are things like empowerment, advocacy, depth, and courage. I really want to focus on courage, like with this certain interview, because I believe that you show a lot of courage in your life. What do you think like courage means to you?
To me, courage is like, it's like ambition, but it's also like the willingness to prepare yourself to be able to be courageous, I guess. Because for me, I am a very anxious person. It's hard to be courageous, it's hard to have that courage, but it's almost like the passion mixed with the ambition, and knowing that there's a higher power, a higher purpose beyond the anxiety of what you're facing.
Yeah. And how would you connect like courage and being an effective leader like on your team? Like I'm sure you have to go through that almost every day, but how would you see that like in your specific situation?
Sometimes you have to step out of the friendship role and be like purely a captain and make decisions that are going to be hard. I think sometimes I have to take a little bit of a courage to speak to some of my teammates in that way, to tell them like, you can't do this dance or whatever, something like that. So I think that's when I have to use it the most, is when I have to have those difficult conversations. But then also when I'm just leading as an example, it's just the courage to come to practice and to know I'm not going to let anything affect me. It's not going to draw my face. It's not going to. I'm not going to lash out on my teammates, stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, so I just want to thank you again for doing this whole interview. I know it's been like really eye-opening for me as well. Can you just like say what you got coming up for you, what's on your horizon?
Yeah.
What should we look forward to?
Well, I think the only thing you'll be seeing is I'll be cheering and dancing for competition season. I'm very excited for that, senior year. And then I have a research project coming up for my senior research project. I'm doing basically how dissonance-based intervention programs, which that'll make more sense once I show it, how that can help lessen eating disorders in female athletes. So I'm really excited about that project, to learn more for myself and to just hopefully maybe benefit the campus with a project I have to do for school, but also benefit campus. So
yeah.
And then yeah, that's about it.
And then just one last question. If you were to give the version of yourself from 15 years ago one piece of advice, what would it be and why?
That would have to be as long as you know that you are a good person, as long as you are proud of yourself and you know your intentions at heart, you cannot focus on what anyone else thinks of you, because you cannot trust someone else to perceive you correctly, because maybe they're not in their great headspace, maybe they're not there yet. So just as long as you know that you are a good person, you can't care what anyone else thinks.
All right. So thank you again, and I really enjoyed interviewing you today.
Yes, thank you. I enjoyed it as well.